You know, some people don't set out to make history, they just do what needs to be done. Barbara Felicetti is living proof of that. 102 years old, she's still sharp, she's still smiling, and she's still living with quiet strength.
Now, decades ago, she stepped up when the country needed her and never asked for recognition. She says it was just a job, but to her family and our country, it was much more. And as DelmarvaLife's James McDonald discovered, Barbara's story isn't just history, it's a living legacy for generations to come.
Barbara Felicetti was one of America's silent strength during World War II, one of the many women who stepped in when the men went off to war.
Well, really, I didn't really think about it. I just went to work every day and came home, you know. It was just a job.
But the job she's talking about was historic. She was a Rosie the Riveter, helping to build planes in a General Motors plant.
Well, I used to work on the fuselage first when they could, you know, close it up with rivets. Sometimes the holes were that big. And the second job was on the aileron. So then I was an inspector on the aileron. It's that little flap that goes up and down on the plane, on the wing.
Now, more than 75 years later, she's 102 years old, still sharp, still smiling, and still humble.
Well, to me it was just a job. And I go to work every day and come home every day, and that was it.
But to her daughter Celeste, it was so much more.
Very proud of. I feel like her, she was such a big part of the war effort, being a Rosie the Riveter, and helping to build the planes that were used in the Second World War. I'm very proud of her. I'm very proud of her service to our country.
Barbara was recently honored by the Rosie the Riveter Society and even received a letter from President Biden on her 100th birthday.
That made me really happy. You know, that she did get recognized, you know, because a lot of the women didn't, you know.
Barbara now lives with her daughter in Delaware. She's still doing the little things that make her feel alive.
Make coffee every day, and I do the dishes at night sometime when they're left over.
She just did a 400-piece puzzle a couple of weeks ago. It was very hard. It was very hard. I gave up on it.
In there. She has to glue it together.
Yeah.
And what keeps her young, Celeste believes, is something far more powerful than puzzles. It's family.
She is very happy to be with family. When she's around family, she's in her element. I still have her. I can still celebrate her every day. And the holidays are really special because we still have her.
To the youngest members of the family, she's known as Big Boosha.
They love her. They call her Big Boosha because that's what we called our grandmother. I'm Boosha. She's Big Boosha. Boosha is Polish for grandmother.
There's joy in every little moment, and sometimes a little laughter too.
When I was 18, graduated from high school, we went on a trip to Las Vegas. We were in the pool swimming, and all of a sudden over the intercom, Celeste Felicetti and Denise Bonato, please report. And my father the whole time, leave them alone. And we were like, we wanted to crawl under the water and drown ourselves from being paged like that.
She's lived through more than a century of history, yet it's the quiet values that stand out.
Work and mind your own business. Stay out of trouble.
And stay out of trouble, right?
She always taught me to be family first. You take care of your family, you know, do the right thing, you go to work, you cook, you clean, you do all of those things, and you just love everybody.
She says she doesn't know where the years went, but her daughter knows exactly what kind of legacy she leaves behind.
I think those values and those morals that she instilled in both myself and my sister were very, very important.
I don't know where the years went. I still wonder why I'm still here.
At 102 years old, Barbara is still riveting in every sense of the word.
And Barbara also tells us when she isn't working on her newest puzzle or reading outside in the sun, you can find her cozied up on the couch watching her beloved Orioles. She says she's been following the team as long as she can remember, and she never misses a game. I think you could consider her the #1 fan at 102.
So, right? No kidding.
That's devotion.
Family keeps her young.
Mm-hmm.